which one is English not correct? Look at this senator. Wai ta turanci ne Christopher Musa zai magance issue na banditry din? Abin ba ta turanci bane har suna ce wai turancin shi bai yi ba. Amma ku kalli wannan bidiyon ko ana magana in turanci ne anan. Ku kalli wannan me senator na yana kokarin cewa. Abin da mutum kai yana da ba zai iya ba za a dawo da shi ne. Shi Musa Christopher nan idan ba ta turanci bane amma ku ji abin da yana kokarin cewa shi wannan senator.
You used, I was a bit confused when you said we can win this war. I thought that is begging the question. What we expect from you is assurance. We will win this war. We shall win this war. Not can. Can is about potential. We have talked too much about potentials. Under your leadership, Nigeria will win this war. Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we shall win this war. That's the kind of assurance we want. That's it. There have been a couple of observations that people have raised. When young men and women are kidnapped, state governors and other stakeholders are panicking, people are responding differently. For example, we have seen reports of armed terrorists coming out of the bush and negotiating with a subnational government. And people are like, how can we negotiate? And on the floor of this Senate, many distinguished senators remind us that people know where these terrorists are. They know their roots. And in any case, if they didn't know them, how do they negotiate with them? Because once the armed forces is demystified, there is no state. It is the power of the state. It possesses the monopoly to use instruments of violence to liquidate anyone who threatens the existence of the state. So for many people, they can't understand why the state or anybody purporting to represent the state will negotiate with bandits. They come to the city, and then after negotiations, they go back. There are other stories that one cannot verify about people wearing uniforms or people they have killed and so on and so forth. Like has been said, I don't think any one of us here has any iota of doubt. If anything, I have been congratulating many people who come to me that yes, for several reasons, your appointment is a bold statement, even to enemies of Nigeria outside Nigeria, who sought to polarize our country along religious line. Your appointment has shut their mouth down. So, in all respect, I'm pleased, I'm happy, my confidence is reinforced. But sir, I need you to change your statement that we shall win. Number two, whether or not it makes sense for the state or subnationals to negotiate with terrorists, carry weapons into the city, and then going back, as we see, these are reported from time to time, and we have seen governors saying after successful negotiations, they have achieved something. We just need some assurance from you. I think that is all. Your competence is not in doubt. The president's capacity. General Musa, I am extremely delighted, excited, like all Nigerians, about this appointment. Mr. President, this appointment looks like it. It looks tactical. It looks logical. And it is timely. The question I want to ask the General is, General, what is the problem of the Nigerian Armed Forces with technology? Example, why are we seeing these bandits with super sophisticated guns and our officers are confronting them still with AK-47? Thank you.
Aliyu Sarkin Yakin Kefi, Magajin Dangin Lafia, and I represent Nasarawa West Senatorial District of Nasarawa State. I still remain horse rider, yes. Mr. President sitting as chair, distinguished colleagues, Mr. Nominee, at this point, mine wouldn't be question. It will be commendation, congratulations, and some level of caution to the nominee. Commendation to say that truly by your nomination is a confirmation that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, truly has the eagle eye to have nominated you to be Minister of Defense. And I congratulate you. Having congratulated you, why mine will not be a question, all the questions that I should have asked had been asked. But it's to say to you, based on where you're coming from, the commendations and accolades that you've gotten from my colleagues, is to say to you that I will be requesting the Senate. These sensitive questions are not brought to bear in the affirmative. Where is Brigadier General who authorized the withdrawal of soldiers 30 minutes before the operation that saw to the kidnapping of the MAGA, 25 children in MAGA, and etc., are not answered, or no progress is seen by the Senate, by extension the country, because the Senate is the country. We represent Nigerians here. If those are not taken care of within the first 6 months, this same Senate that members have applauded you, commended you, and will approve you, the same Senate will call on the President to send you packing. So that any other person that is saddled with the responsibility that you are saddled or will be saddled with, which quote and unquote will be within the sphere of security responsibilities, will sit up when and if such a person is saddled with the responsibility you are saddled with. To this, or with this, once more I congratulate you and I caution you to have, I don't know if you play polo because you are not a polo player, I would have known. But for you, for an officer retired that has gotten to the level that you had gotten, eyes on the ball. Thank you.
Just one more minute. We take it like this until we get here.
Colleagues, I know General Christopher for a very long time, and he is part of the generals that have been in the theater. The theater means the Northeast, where we all know is the epicenter of Boko Haram until now, that the Northwest has joined, and other zones. I worked closely with the retired general, and in fact our relationship has gone beyond official to personal. I just want to add to what distinguished Senator Ahmed Lawan said, and to also urge our colleagues to give this gentleman the optimum support. And this support is in the field of appropriation. And not only that, it is also important not only to appropriate, but to make sure the funds are provided as at when needed. We have been advocating, Mr. Senate President, and this Senate should do that the budget of the armed forces and indeed other important security agencies should be on the first line charge, and it should be released to them as at when due. This is not what is happening now. And as the former Senate President said, Hanum, I will repeat it now that you all know, Hanum Banza Bayat Okauta. And it is time for me now, sir, to commend Mr. President for not only appointing General Christopher as the Minister of Defense after retirement as CDS, but also declaring this issue of insecurity as an emergency. And also just day before yesterday or so, the Senate passed a resolution advising Mr. President to rejig the security architecture. That is being done. Now what is remaining is to give the military and other security agencies what they need to walk the talk. Now back to the question. I'm constrained by what you said, that some of these questions should be asked in executive session. But fortunately, what I discussed, or my question to the minister now, is something that I discussed with him. Now that you have the chance to ask, because he told me that generals don't complain. If he had so, which is not what I will discuss, if you give him 6 months, if he doesn't get it done, he will drop the uniform. That time he was in uniform. Now you are a civilian. Now you can complain because you are no longer in uniform. As at the time, which is the tradition of the army, generals don't complain. So my question to you, my big friend, is will you ask for those things from your appointee, that is the CNC, and here you are before the Senate that promised to give you that support. So if you ask that question or you demand for that thing, I want to believe that the Senate will support you to get it. And that will mean that this issue of insecurity will be something that will be a history when we are still senators. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Mohammed Tahir Monguno. I represent Borno North Senatorial District. First and foremost, I want to most sincerely thank Mr. President for this nomination, because this nomination is a nomination that is a square peg in a square hole, having regard to the tremendous contributions that the nominee has made as an officer of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria towards defending the territorial integrity of this country. And I also want to seize this singular opportunity to most sincerely thank men and officers of the Nigerian Armed Forces for the sacrifice that they have given in the cause of fighting insecurity in this country, to the extent that some of them have paid the supreme price and stabilizing the country. For example, before, even in the wildest of my dreams, I cannot think of going to my native home of Monguno. But because of the determination, zeal, and enthusiasm displayed by the Nigerian military in the fight against insecurity. Today I can go to Monguno and sleep with my 2 eyes closed. I sincerely thank you for that. Now, Mr. Nominee, all along you have been serving in the armed forces at the operational level.